All right. How many of you got this one wrong? Raise your hand. How many of you entered it directly in your calculator, hit equals? And you still got it wrong? Well, then we need to really practice on our order of operations, because if you put this directly in your calculator, there are two signs in here that will really mess you up. That one and that one, because your calculator doesn't treat it as that. Okay? So let's go through our order. First of all, can I solve this?
No, it doesn't have an equal sign.
No, it doesn't have an equal sign. So since it doesn't have an equal sign, we can't solve it. All we can do is simplify it. Very good. Now, some of you probably feeling like I'm asking the same things. Good. You should ask yourself those questions. Good. All right. So now then, we're going to go through order of operations. We are lucky here that there are no what? No parentheses. So since there's no parentheses, what do we look for next? So we have none of those, so we look for those. Do I have any of those?
Nope.
I do not have any of those, so I look for... Now then, I'm going to do this step by step. Can I do multiple steps at one time? That could be where your mistake entails, is that you might be trying to do something out of order because you're trying to do multiple steps at once. So if you have that issue, then do them one at a time, because it's just simple arithmetic motions. All right? So the first thing I do I do subtraction first? No, I have division. So this is negative 8 divided by negative 2, which is what? Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is? Okay. And so we move on down, because we took care of this portion right there, minus 3. All right? So I continue on down, my left to right. That is addition. That is subtraction. What do we have right here that I can go ahead and do? First of all, I have multiplication of a negative 1 times a negative 12, don't I? And that makes a, what's a negative 1 times a negative 12? Positive 12. So my 2, my 4, my 3 makes a positive 12 divided by a negative 6 times a negative 2. Continue down left to right. I have 12 divided by negative 6. What's 12 divided by negative 6?
2.
What kind of 2?
Positive.
12 divided by a negative 6 is a positive 2. It's a negative 2. Once again, it seems like that you're having issues with the little arithmetic moves. Put them in your calculator. 12 divided by negative 6. Do that right now and tell me what you get. Oh, I'm bringing the other stuff down.
I keep like mixing my signs up. Like on the multiplication, like sometimes when I'll put the little line and like my negative numbers, like I'll get them confused.
Okay, so can you give me an example of one up there you're talking about? Which one?
Yeah, like when y'all multiplied the 3 and the 12 or whatever.
Well, I did the minus negative 12 right here in this step. Just try to remember this. Try to remember that if I have two signs there together, that doesn't really work for me. So this is really parentheses around that and a 1 right there. So that negative 1 is going to change that sign for you. Okay, so it's negative 1 times negative 12. All right? So now we move further down. We're not doing anything with adding and subtracting yet. But I have negative 2 times negative 2.
4.
What kind?
Positive.
Very good. So now all I have is just simple adding and subtracting. So we've made it down those steps to adding and subtracting. Okay, so now I have, can I put all that directly in? Nah, yeah.
Yes, you can.
I mean, I did it in my head, I got 7, so I'm not sure that's right.
Would that be a minus 3?
That's a minus 3, yes ma'am. Okay, so let me finish working out and see if I get what you bammed right there.
Oh, I know it's right.
Okay, good. All right, so this is going to become 2 plus 4, which is 6, minus 3 plus 4. I subtract it, and I get 3 plus 4. And then I add those, I get 7.
7.
Now, let me make some of you feel really, really good if you had an issue here. There's not a whole lot of things that's going to show up like this. This is just practice of your order of operations. So if you struggle at this part, but when it comes to the application part on the other problems and you did fine, you're going to be okay, because you're not going to have a whole bunch of people says, okay, I want you to take 2 minus the 8 divided by negative 2 minus the 3 minus the negative 12 divided by the negative 6 times the negative 2. Have fun, go at it. That doesn't really happen. Unless you're sitting in a math class and your teacher wants to give you a happy birthday trick to get your birthday predicted on your order of operations. Other than that, that's not going to happen. Okay? So most of us, if we have errors, here's what you're doing. You're either entering it in directly in your calculator and hitting equals, and your calculator works in order of operations, but the parentheses and dividing really messes up in a Texas Instrument calculator. Or you're doing things out of order. Okay? Or you're having the issues with the negative signs, and therefore the out of order is coming into play.